Warriors, I wanted to talk to you about what I'm sure most of you have heard about already: Metaverse, Facebook, Metaverse. I thought I'd take a couple of minutes to fill you in what I think about Metaverse and what I want you as parents, grandparents, and trusted adults to look for. Metaverse, don't be confused. It is simply augmented reality, virtual reality. Now let's think about this. Facebook, at least it's been announced, and we've had the congressional hearings recently. We've had the whistleblower about the problems with Facebook, putting profit over the safety of our children. Do you remember Oculus a couple of years ago, those big virtual reality glasses put out by Zuckerberg? And then that kind of dropped off the face of the earth. But I did hear in the background, he was working on this Metaverse. It wasn't called Metaverse, it was just an augmented reality. We have so many overwhelming things happening with our children right now, with all of us, particularly our children. They are being inundated. Parents are being attacked. Children are being attacked. It's tough to keep an eye on everything and to follow along and to know what to do, solutions. So let me just share a couple of thoughts. I'm so afraid that children will be completely absorbed. And so many parents will think, because they're not paying attention, that this is so cool, virtual reality. I could sit here for the next year and give you citations about all the studies and reports we have about the harms of social media. Let's call it anti-social media, because that's truly what it's become. We can all agree that a lot of these platforms, we do have, entertainment purposes. We do have them for some educational purposes. But wherever there is something good, we have to always be aware that the predators or the criminals figure out how to break in and get their piece of the pie. The Metaverse. Children right now have been wearing masks on their faces. Children have been out of school for a long chunk of time until fairly recently this school year. Children have seen their parents and family members upset, confused during COVID. We've entered into this whole new kind of environment. It feels like the safety net is off, and it feels like every day we're getting hit over the head with a hammer and something new is breaking. I fight every day for you and your children, for all the children. Metaverse will take a child, and I know this is going to happen. Parents are busy. The child will be in the Metaverse. It's like opening your front door and welcoming the world into your child's life. It's just more of this not being in touch with reality, which we've all seen in the last almost 19 months now, how out of touch so many people, so many kids have become, and reclusive, and they don't want to get back into reality. I'm here in New York City. Most of the people I know in offices are not back in the offices. They're told January 2022 with a question mark. So everything I read in the media, everything's snapping back, everything's great. Let me give you the truth. It's not, and you know this. Kids, and if I dare say troubled, lonely, vulnerable, will put themselves in this augmented reality, this Metaverse. I view this as a crime against our children. Think about it. Why is there a need for this? Why is there a use for this? Well, I'll tell you what I think. Because Facebook is having so many problems, because Facebook is continually looking for ways to make money, as are all the other platforms, but right now we'll talk about Zuckerberg and Facebook. We know recently that it was announced Instagram for kids, 13 and under, was coming out, and everybody made a big stink. And for now, Instagram, now remember, Facebook owns Instagram, said, we're going to put this on pause for a while. It was just a couple of weeks ago. Sorry, I looked at that. I'm very worked up about all of this. And I just got off a weekly meeting I do with Washington, D.C. And there was so much information coming right and left, but that's for another video. Instagram. a grab for eyes, a grab for potential customers, a grab to addict our children, a grab for monies, advertisers. Remember, they want the web traffic. They want to get the kids right out of the crib, in my opinion. They put that on pause for now. You know, Facebook, the average age of the Facebook person is in their 50s, and they need the kids. They need to addict them young and get them hooked. You know, we talked about the harms of alcohol, the harms of cigarettes, the harms of drugs. You have to wear a helmet. You have to wear a seatbelt. We have the harms happening all around us, and nobody's stopping it. They're trying, but it's falling on a lot of deaf ears. So there's so much red tape in Washington. There are tremendous things in the works. I just got off a call with advocates, and I'll just leave it at that. And we're pushing forward with all of these issues. Again, it takes time. A lot of things fall on deaf ears, but we're pushing. That's all you can do is keep pushing, raising awareness, educating, and shouting about it. And we're doing it. But I'm so concerned about the meta, because I look at the meta as a grab, and the kids will be so lost. This will ruin everything. They'll never want to go out and play with other children. They'll just play through virtual reality. They'll never want to shop. They'll put themselves, into stores, and that'll create chaos, because I'm sure we're going to see, these influencers on the metaverse. Now, remember, these are all paid kids and teens and adults. Let's stick with the kids for now. And one of the harms of Instagram, was showcasing influencers with, you can have, this Gucci pocketbook. You too can shop at this store. Coming from a 15-year-old, or maybe like a Kylie Jenner, we'll use her as an excuse, but there were a lot of other ones, influencing. They get paid, and these young brains don't understand. They live vicariously, or they think this is what I should have, and it disturbs them, and it causes them harms. And we've seen, and I'm irate and I'm angry, because these platforms continually are hiding under Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act. They act as a billboard, no responsibility. We have child sexual abuse material on every single platform there is. Take it down. These are minors, children, our grandchildren. Now we have to deal with the metaverse. Shut it down. This is a danger. And I'll tell you why. There's so many things I could tell you right now, because I know kids are going to lose themselves in this metaverse. And I also know that while all this disruption is going on, parents will use it as a babysitter. And this is not to attack parents. We have to come together. We have to say no about this. And it's going to start, nobody's stopping it. It's this train that's running away. You have to be a warrior. You have to start in your own home. It'll trickle down into the community, and stop it. Because what I see? I see the predators going on the metaverse, the meta, and having virtual sex with children. Are there laws for any of this? Remember, the law always lags behind technology. I see more kids getting involved, this more normalization of the sexualization of our children. This is going to be a disaster. And they want to hook the kids young. It'll be full of influencers, is my bet. Again, perpetuating, for instance, Instagram, one of the problems, eating disorders. How to. You'll have a virtual reality where you can step into somebody else's home, and that person will show you, here's exactly how you do it. And you can be touching each other and sitting on that person's bed or couch, and disaster. But let's get back to these predators. We are going to be seeing an explosion of virtual sex with children. I'm not talking about adults. I'm never talking about adults. I'm talking about children, vulnerable, lonely, impressionable children. And I'm sure on Meta, we'll be seeing some sort of advertising. It's always about the bottom line, which is money. So Zuckerberg and whoever is working with him, behind him, pushing him, whatever you might think about all of this, it's always about addicting, causing chaos and making that money. And this is a money grab on the backs of our children. We'll be working on all these issues at the Warriors and along with other great organizations and with Washington. But in the meantime, no, educate yourselves. Knowledge is power. Know what this is about. This isn't some cute thing where your 10-year-old son or daughter can put on the goggles and isn't this great? I can go to Susie's house and play with her virtually. No, we need children to play in person. I'm scared. I'm very scared, Warriors. I heard this was coming. No good. People are not interacting. Chaos. These are our children. I guess the next thing we'll hear about is virtual reality school. Doing away with schools and everybody will be going virtual reality, meta. You know what? It just occurred to me. They'll probably have meta schools. And of course, you're going to see the faux celebrities, as I call them, the Hollywood hustle, as I call them, come out in support of this. They're probably lining up now. They're $100 million deals and $50 million deals, whatever they say. Remember, whatever they say is not the truth. Remember, you can't believe anything unless I wrote it myself. And they'll be pushing meta. They'll be pushing all forms. I am so scared. These predators are going to come into your child's bedrooms, into your homes. Remember, it's opening the front door and welcoming the world in. There's no need for this. This is not necessary. This is not cool. This is against human beings, and it's a money grab. So stay tuned. I'm going to keep on top of this. I'm going to fill you in. We're going to keep working every single day. We're going to keep taking actions. Please go to linswarriors.org, where I list take actions. Please read. Let's leverage the internet for good. I put a lot of articles on Facebook and Instagram. We can do it. We can make it happen. We have to take care of our own little warriors in our own homes, in our own communities. So join me. Meta equals child predation. Don't be fooled. If you have any questions, you can always email me, lynn@linswarriors.org. I want to hear from each and every one of you. And I also want to thank you always from the bottom of my heart for supporting my passion. This work chose me. I did not choose it. But thank you for the support, the loyalty, and the love. Together, we're going to beat all of this. We have to stick together. Onward, warriors.